Hi guys, and welcome to day 6 of the 3K subscriber week. Yeah, we're up to day 6 already. But Irish, where was day 5? There were no videos yesterday. You missed day 5. Yeah, I know. I do have to give you guys an apology. I said you guys had controlled the channel this week, and you have been. You gave me a how I tank video, or you gave me a is it worth it to do on day 2, and that took 12 hours. So I was exhausted. And day 3, I was heading out, but you guys asked me to do a how I tank video. So when I came home, it was after midnight. So yeah, I was up till like 5 in the morning doing the how I tank video that you requested. So after a huge day of recording and then another day out and about and staying up till 5 in the morning, I was absolutely wrecked. Day 4, I was planning 2 videos, but I only managed to get 1 done, and even that wasn't great because it's probably obvious while I was doing it I was very, very tired. So yeah, yesterday I basically sat down to make day 5 videos and I just kept falling asleep in front of the PC, so I just went back to bed. I'm exhausted. I'm wrecked this week. But that's the problem when you get older. You don't have enough energy to do what you want to do. But yeah, so there was no video yesterday. I apologize. I'm gonna do a couple of videos today. I'm still tired, but I'm gonna do a couple of videos today to make up for it. So yeah, I didn't get to give you an opportunity of asking for videos or putting videos up on the channel or requesting videos for today. So simply because I didn't put out a video yesterday. So I had to go back to some of your earlier comments to try and find ideas for a video for today so that I could still let you guys have some control over what's on the channel this week. And first up was Rick Van Kelster, who wanted me to make a video about idiots in-game, for example, people who cry in chat and team kill, etc. And congrats on the 3K subscribers. Yeah, okay, so that's a potential video. And then Panzer Bill suggested a video where I show nothing but those moments in World of Tanks when... and you show clips that end in disaster. Yeah, that's not one of these videos, but we've all experienced them and got mad. Yeah, that's kind of the subject of today's video. Raging or getting mad. And then there was Mikhail Valent, who wanted, I want to see funny fails and chat complaints from another player or from other players. Or maybe a game where I've gotten very, very angry. Adrox Adatone wanted how about an in-game crying idiots or sore losers best of video. Well, I'm not really going to do that, but it's something along the lines of what you want to see. Then there was Neil on Travels, who wanted uncensored Irish raging video. Okay, alright, we'll see what we can do. Now, I don't rage very much, I really don't. A lot of you comment on it, the fact that on my YouTube videos or during my stream, that I don't rage, but yet from those comments, as you can see, some of you guys want to see Irish rage, and I'm not immune. I mean, I'm human. I do rage. I can rage. And any of you who are on TS with me when I'm playing World of Tanks and I'm not streaming, and I'm having a if, and it needs to be a really, really big if, I'm having a terrible day. If I'm having an absolutely awful day, eventually the stress builds up, and I will rage. I mean, I'll rage over TS. I won't rage in game. I won't rage and spread just bad mood throughout the team. I won't start, I never, ever, or incredibly rarely insult another player directly. I might insult their gameplay. You know, a common thing I'll say in game is, "Oh great, our top tier heavy is camping in the corner." Or I'll say something like, "Dude, why are you playing a war game if you don't want to shoot enemy tanks?" Or I think the most creative insult I sometimes use in game is, "Oh dear, oh no," and it's usually reserved for players who have no idea what they're doing. You know, ignoring tanks that are to the sides, to the rear, not even looking at the minimap. You know, I save this insult for them. I'll say that, "Oh man, watching you play, I can feel my IQ dropping." But I'll never, I'll never actually go as far, very rarely go as far as to insult players directly unless they are complete and utter douchebags. And even then, it takes quite a lot to set me off. So I was reading those comments and I was thinking, okay, you guys want to see some Irish rage. And I usually only rage if I'm having a really bad day and I'm on TS. And then my TS buddies get to just hear me get stressed out. But yeah, I was trying to think back. Probably over the last 4 months, I can only think of twice I have lost it during a game. Think of only twice. 2 examples from about 4 months of gameplay where I lost it. And the thing about raging is it's counterproductive. Raging does not make you better. Raging does not make your stats better. In fact, if anything, raging makes your stats worse, because when you rage, you focus on your team, or you focus on the subject of who you're raging at. You're not focused on your own game, you're not focused on your own tank, you're not focused on trying to win the game. You're focused on the incompetencies of your team as opposed to what you can do to actually make the game better for you. And this is a perfect example. This is me in a tier 9 game. This is the only other example of me raging I can find or remember from the last 4 or 5 months. I'm a tier 7. I'm playing the Panther. And as I say, I've got 6 cents on the Panther now, but at the time of playing this game, I didn't. So didn't have 6 cents on the Panther. I'm a tier 7 in a tier 9 game. And we've got a lot of good players. I mean, the enemy team have some good players, but we've got a lot of good players on our team. We've got some good scouts. Bringy's in his Type 64. We've got a couple of VK2801s. So we've got scouts. We've got not very many mediums, but we do have some nice tier 9 TDs. And good players in tier 9 TDs. The only thing we're missing is some heavy tanks. Most of our heavy tanks seem to be tier 7 and tier 8. But anyway, let's go. This is me raging. And there's a lot of reasons why I started raging in this game. It's because we were having a bad night. It was one of those nights where we just couldn't get wins. No matter what we did, we couldn't get wins. It was another one of those nights where we were constantly bottom tier. I mean, it is incredibly hard. You can do it, but it's incredibly hard to carry teams in bottom tier tanks. And we were constantly doing the most damage. We were constantly getting the most XP on our teams as bottom tier tanks, but losing because it was just one of those nights where, I don't know, just a lot of players seemed to come out of the woodwork. Players who hadn't played in 50 years and suddenly decided they were going to start playing World of Tanks again and forgotten how to play higher tier tanks. But right, we're going to pause it here because this is the first thing here. You see, I'm looking at the enemy team list as I do in every single game. I notice our team is quite strong, probably a little bit stronger than the enemy team, but I'm also noticing there are 3 RT. So there are 3 RT on the enemy team. I've got no 6th sense. If I get spotted, RT focuses me, I'm only at tier 7, I'm going to be a one-hit kill. The next thing I'm noticing is that the enemy have a very, very good light tank, okay? It's an M41 Bulldog. Very good player, he's a good player in a very, very good light tank. And now normally what you would expect is maybe the Bulldog to patrol midridge and try and get spots across midridge. But our scouts are up there and the only thing they've spotted so far is an AMX-30. So on this map, Prokhorovka, I've covered it on numerous videos in the past, although the position has been nerfed slightly. One of the strongest positions for a light tank is this bush area in E1. If you move up to E1 in a light tank, you can basically spot the entire 1-2 lines, any tanks that are advancing for your corner campers to shoot. So it's very, very possible that the enemy light tank is going to be here. So that's what I'm keeping an eye out for. Now, like I say, I'm bottom tier. I've got no 6th sense. So I'm not going to be pushing up all the way to E1. I'll be dead if I do that. And there we go. AMX-30 just gets one hit killed by RT. And there we go. Incredible start to the game. Okay, so now here's the next thing, okay? I'm in position. I'm not going to advance. In fact, these bushes up here are probably better. But the problem is, if that light tank has gone up to E1, I'm not going to be able to get to these bushes without him spotting me. My tank is just not quick enough. It doesn't have enough camo. So I'm in this bush, and right behind me, we've got a very, very good player in a SU-122-54. Now, he is top tier. He is top tier. He's using bushes. He's going to shoot anything I happen to spot. We also have a T-30, who also happens to be a top-tier TD, camping in the back corner of the map with Artie. So I'm not happy with these guys' positions, but it could be worse. I mean, I'm not pushing up. I'm not going to be spotting. I'm going to be spotting from here because I don't want to risk my health. I don't want to risk my tank. At least not until I find out where that bulldog is. So those two tanks behind me, the TDs, they're not in great positions, but at least they're in a position to shoot anything I happen to spot. And if you notice my equipment, I'm using binocs on the Panther, so I've actually got incredibly good view range. Let me pause it again. Remember, I did a how I tank on camo and view range mechanics earlier. You see the box here? That's my 500 meter render range. And you see how far my binocs are. My binocs are activated and they are up to 500 meters. I've got incredible view range on this Panther, even though I don't have Sixth Sense. So I've got very good view range. I'm going to spot any tanks if they advance. And all we have to do is be patient. So there's no real cause for rage. I'm a little bit concerned our top tier T-30 is camping in K1 beside Artie. But our SU-122-54 is in a decent position. He's in a good position to shoot what I'm spotting. And we've got a VK-2801 patrolling the mid-ridge. So no real pressure. We've got tanks on the hill. We've got Artie sitting back. We've got a scout who's in a really, really weird position in F8. But he's actually in quite a good position because in F8 he can spot enemy tanks going up the hill. But here we go. You can see me, I'm actually not on free cam. I'm actually watching this guy driving up behind me. I'm going, this guy is top tier TD. He's a very good player. WoT Republic, he's a very good player. What's he doing? I'm sitting here, my camo is kicked in, I've got incredibly good view range, and this guy decides to advance for absolutely no reason. All he had to do was be patient. So free camera, fixed camera. So as you can see, I'm actually watching him in fixed camera drive up behind me, and I'm thinking to myself, what's this guy doing? What's this guy doing? If the enemy have a scout in E1 and that scout hasn't been spotted yet. Now he's going, look, he's pointing, he's clicking on the mini-map, he's clicking at D2 and he's saying spot here. So he's already being a general, he's already giving orders. He expects the team to work for him. So our VK advances to actually do what he's asking to do. The VK is trying to spot. And well done. Actually, that was my spot. If you see the light bulb over the tiger, that was my spot. So I'm taking shots at this Tiger 1. I don't have Sixth Sense, but everyone is shooting. Everyone is shooting the SU-122-44. Okay, so this guy, he's taken damage. He's now hiding behind me. So one of the reasons I was really annoyed at the fact he pushed up here was the fact, A, he was in a position to shoot from there where he was, but also by moving up here, what he did was he basically exposed himself. He started taking fire with 3 Artie on the enemy team. It means that if Artie decided to fire at him, then they could have hit me. They're going to hit me with splash damage, or if they missed him, they could have killed me. So I wasn't very happy with this player. It was a really, really stupid decision to move up here. Let's go. So he's being a general. He's just taken some fire. He's retreating. And you'll notice I haven't taken any fire because I'm stationary. I'm using push mechanics. And he does it again. I mean, seriously, dude. He was obviously spotted. He moved up here. He got spotted. People shot him. He retreated. And then he moves back up again, and he got spotted, and he's just got hammered by Artie. And I'm worried enemy Artie are going to be hitting me. So my rage levels are starting to increase because this guy is playing like a complete and utter fecking idiot, at least in my mind. So, okay, he's moved back up, and it's kind of like, okay. This dude. Oh, and there he goes. Look in chat. Fecking Artie losers. So SU-122-44 or 54, he's complaining. He's complaining that RT are losers because they targeted him, and if they'd missed him, they could have killed me. So I decide I've got to get away from this douchebag. This guy is going to get me killed. He's a good player, I don't know what he's doing, but he's going to get me killed. So I have to risk it. Even though the enemy M441 Bulldog has not been spotted yet, there's a good chance he's sitting in E1. I don't want to stick around with the SU-122-54. Now what I could have done was I could have just run away, but I decide no, I want to get spots for our Tier 9 TDs that are very bravely hiding behind the Tier 7. So I push up, I'm trying to use bush mechanics, but I have no sixth sense. So I push up as far as I dare, and boom! Okay, so I've just been shot by a 30, I've just been shot by a T95. Someone mentioned recently the mod I was using that shows me tanks that hit me even though haven't been spotted yet. I agree, yeah, I agree, it's not a fair mod. Unfortunately, it's part of the mod pack. There's no way of disabling it or enabling it, and I'd have to get rid of the whole spotting mod in order to get rid of that, or the whole hit log. But I'm just going to stick with that. And as I say, it's an older replay. It's an older replay. So boom, alright, there we go. Right, I advanced, I got spotted, I started getting shot at when I tried to advance. I was trying to get spots, for these brave Tier 9 TDs that are camping at the back of the map. And unfortunately I did get spotted, I got hammered by a Ferdinand and a T95, and I've got to get out of here. So I'm pretty certain that the Bulldog is in E1. I'm almost 100% certain. I don't have sixth sense, but he has to be there. He hasn't been spotted yet, and any time we try to advance down the one line, we get spotted. Now, it could be the T95, but it's the Bulldog. It's the Bulldog. I know it's the Bulldog. So I decide to get out of there. Now, I get very, very lucky here. As you could see, I was driving down, and a T95 appeared, and just as the T95 appeared, our T30 fired. So this was actually my fault. I drove in front of the T30. He fired, and I was so lucky that he actually only hit my gun. He didn't actually kill me. I'm on 368 health. Now this T30, I may be critical because he's hiding at the back of the map, but he does say sorry. He does say sorry in chat. And yep, our SU-122-54 is complaining again. He's complaining about RNG. Our T30 says sorry, that's okay. SU-122-44 or 54 complaining about RNG. Okay, that's fine. He's entitled to. So the Ferdy is starting to insult people, Ferdy from the enemy team, but basically my plan now, you can see that the map is clicking, and the reason the map is clicking is because this SU-122-54 starts spamming the map, you know, saying, hey, we need spots here, we need spots here, we need spots here. So I'm starting to get annoyed, but I'm trying to win this game. Remember, I'm bottom tier. I'm now on 368 hit points. Our team are actually doing okay on the other flank. Our team are doing okay in the middle. We're dominating the middle of the map. So I decide, okay, I've got two tier 9 TDs sitting on the one line. Let's see if I can get them some spots. But this is so dangerous. So dangerous because I've got no hit points. I'm a one-hit kill. And there we go. I've just spotted the Panther 88. So there we go. I'm getting spots. I'm doing my job even though it's so dangerous and I'm about to die. You can see me, I keep on glancing up to the bushes at E1. And as I say, there are 3 RT on the enemy team. So a Panther 88 gets killed because of my spotting. T95 wasn't my spot, but our team take him out. But I know there's at least a Ferdy down here. I know that there are 3 RT, and I know there's a flaming Bulldog in E1. You can see me constantly looking at E1. I'm pushing up, and I just wished I'd had sixth sense so I could confirm it. But we're pushing up. I'm advancing, retreating, trying to spot, but there's nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing I can do. There's no way I'm going to spot a camoed up Bulldog sitting in E1 without killing myself. And look at chat. Attention to sector E2 spot. Now, what was I trying to do? I was trying to spot, but the SU-122-54 is so self-absorbed in his own poor gameplay that he's not recognizing what I'm actually trying to do. So he starts getting angry and angrier, but to be honest, he's an idiot. I'm completely aware of what's happening, and now our Lerva is going, OMG, mediums spot. You know, we don't have that many mediums. We've only got 2 of them. And now our T-30, the T-30 that was camping down in the corner, he decides to advance, and the T-30 gets 1 hit killed by enemy arty. So there's someone here in E1, but yeah, T-30 tried to advance, he gets killed by arty, he's been spotted. SU-12254 still sitting in exactly the same position. Now, we're winning. I mean, we're doing okay. We've got tanks in the middle. It's a 50-50 game. We've got tanks on the other flank. We've still got RT in play. But we know there's an enemy presence on the 1-2 lines. Someone's just got spotted. Someone's just got killed here. Now, we do have a third RT. We have a T-12A sitting in the corner. We have an SU-12254 on very low health because of his own, as I say, fault, sitting here. And I've relocated because I'm not an idiot. But these guys continue to sit here. Now, they have keyboards. They have WSADs. If they thought they were going to be overrun, they had, so we're almost 8 minutes into this game. They've had 8 minutes to try and relocate. They've had 8 minutes to move away from this position. If RT was feeling exposed, he could have moved, he could have relocated, but he didn't. He sat there. The SU-12254 sitting in exactly the last position he was spotted in on low health. So basically, what they're doing is they're sitting there waiting for friendlies to spot for them. Instead of actually trying to do anything that can impact the game, they're basically, they want to be fed damage, they want to be fed kills. And I'm not happy with that, but I'm trying to get them spots. I'm here in the middle. My rage levels are increasing, you know, because they're constantly telling me to spot. They're constantly telling me to advance, and basically, you know, they think the world revolves around them, or at least the SU-12254 driver does. So he's getting angry with me because I'm not spotting the Bulldog in E1. I'm not spotting the Ferdinand or any other tanks on 1-2. But as I say, I'm on a one-hit kill. Look at him, he's still going. He's spamming the map. Attention G3, attention G3, attention E2, attention D2. Spot, do something. And I've lost my temper now. I'm saying, don't be a douchebag. Now, I very rarely attack players directly. I do very rarely insult them directly. I usually insult their gameplay. But, okay, I've had enough. So, this guy, he's just gotten my nerves too much. And I'm going, you know what, dude, screw you. Screw you. I've been here for the last couple of minutes trying to spot for you. And you're not happy. You want me to suicide so that you can basically, potentially, do more damage. So, I've relocated because the reason I'm relocated, in chat, Retarded Panther. Okay, so he's already starting, Retarded Panther. And he's saying it in all chats so the enemy team can see this. But what I'm aware of, and this guy isn't because I'm raging, is we've just won the middle. I mean, we've got 11 and IS-2 advancing down this side of the railway lines in front of me on the 5-6 lines. We've won the hill. We've got 2 tanks on the hill. We've pretty much won the other flank as well. We're starting to win the game. The score is 9-6. I'm a one-hit kill. I'm in a tank with good view range, but it's a sniper. And I've just had enough. I've had enough of this guy, so I leave him to his own devices. I know there are a lot of tanks here, but there's nothing I can do about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up into a position where I can get shots down here if the heavies wrap around and try to move into the 1-2 area. So I've stopped. Now, of course, the SU-12254 has just insulted me, so I stop in order to type to him. But in the meantime, our T-12A RT is spamming the map. And, you know, I've stopped to type, but those guys on the 1-2 lines, yep, called noobs on USD. I have no idea what the SU-12254 is trying to say. But this is me. I'm raging. I'm absolutely raging. And there we go. Yep, the world effing rotates around you, SU. Everyone else exists to feed you effing kills and damage F you. That's it. I've lost my temper. So T30 is now saying, Panther, please move sour ass, or please move your ass, is what I think he's trying to say. Your ass. WoT Republic, he's a tier 9, he's a good player. You're a medium. Learn to play, bastard, and shut up. Really? What the hell does he think I was doing? I was trying to help him, but he's an idiot. He's a good player, and that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how he couldn't see. Now Artie is threatening to kill me. The T12A is aiming at me and it's saying, Panther, go away, I'm shooting. So our friendly Artie is now basically aiming at me, and now the Lerva is spamming my position, and I've had enough. I'm going, OMG, how the F are you blue? eBay? Panther is a medium, so spot. That's basically his whole philosophy. And there we go! He's just called me brainless. So this guy's philosophy is mediums need to spot, because he's a TD. He can't move his tank. He can't relocate. He's going to sit there and he's going to die on low health because he has an inability to use the keyboard unless it's to type and insult other players. It's this sort of stupidity that makes me rage. You can hear me starting to rage here just watching this replay. It was obvious to me all along that the Bulldog was in E1. And there we go. I mean, the Bulldog was finally spotted. Our tanks, remember IS-8, Lerva, they're moving across. They're going to start spotting enemy tanks. And that's why I relocated to this position. But I'm raging. I'm on tilt. This SU-122-54, I'm not even going to check his stats. I mean, I don't want to know how the heck he's blue. He probably has 20,000 games played in a T18 or something, but I've relocated. I'm tilt. I'm angry. Missed my shot. And a Ferdy just kills the SU-122-54. So this gives the SU-122-54 an opportunity to do more insulting. How you noob get a clan? Well, because I'm clan leader, idiot. Yeah, so basically, now the SU is dead. Now Artie is open to be attacked by the Bulldog. Our heavy tanks, this game is won. The score is 12-7. There's no pressure. But our team are still going, this SU-122-54, he's just raging. It's a win. There was never any pressure. As soon as our team won the other flank, there was never any pressure. And the 212A has just died. T12 our Artie. There you go. Look in chat. Oh my god, Panther doesn't care about the M41. Really? Really? I'm sitting here with my 500 meters of view range. I'm trying to spot. Waiting for the tanks to advance. And there we go. The game is won. And the SU-122-54 just won't shut up. Let the Artie die and this gamer find a clan. How? The Bulldog, Bringy's trying to protect me. He said, you fucking Irish lowlife wanker, by Artie. That Artie had 10 minutes. We're 4 minutes left of this game. Artie had 10 minutes to relocate, but he sat in the corner. And apparently now I'm an effing Irish lowlife wanker, because apparently I let him die. I mean, this level of stupidity is what makes me rage. These guys are playing higher tier tanks. These guys have keyboards. They have mini-maps. They can see what's happening. It's not hard. I don't blame low-tier players. When I'm playing low-tier games, I never rage, because there's absolutely no reason to rage in a lower-tier game. Even a mid-tier game, I rage even less, because players aren't as experienced. They're still learning the game. But when we get to higher tiers, when you're playing higher-tier tanks, there is absolutely no excuse not to know how to use a minimap. Those guys, they died because of their own stupidity. They didn't die because of anything I did. And in my opinion, I tried to help. I tried to spot. I did as much as I could there without sacrificing my tank, without sacrificing my life. And they died, but apparently it's my problem. So I was being defended by Bringy, who was basically saying that I'm on 368 health, the Bulldog could outspot me, the Bulldog could basically out-DPM me, but the game is over. I mean, the game was over 2 or 3 minutes ago, but these guys are just raging because we're letting Artie die. All we have to do is kill the 2 remaining enemy tanks, so I've done a little bit more damage. Bringy being his usual polite self in chat. No one cares about Artie. And yeah, it's just, I've done a little bit more damage. I'm shooting at tier 9. And I miss out on the kill. So there we go. Our Artie kills the Bulldog. Our Lova kills the T-30. The game is over. But yeah, just this is the sort of thing that makes me rage. So you guys, you wanted to see me rage. You wanted to hear me rage. It's not something I do very often. I honestly don't. If I'm on TS, I rage far more. Basically, usually at the incompetence of teams when I'm having a really, really bad night. Most of the time, if things are going okay, if things are going well, I'm a pretty calm, laid-back player, just like you see on stream. But I can rage. I can rage with the best of them. But I could only think of 2 raging incidents from the last 4 months or so that were actually on replays. As I say, I've done a lot of raging on TS, but you can't see that in a replay. But yeah, what annoys me? What annoys me is when players blame their team for their own incompetence. Anyone can make a mistake. Anyone can make a mistake. And if you make a mistake and die, I mean, there was a few nights ago I was playing, and I drove straight into a bunch of enemy tanks, thinking my team were going to back me up. I was playing really aggressively, and all of a sudden, I was outnumbered 5-1, and I died before doing any. I think I got 2 shots off. I did about 800 damage and died as a top tier heavy, simply because the rest of my team were either too slow or too far back to support me. I was too aggressive, rushed in, and got outnumbered by faster enemy tanks. That was my fault. And I admit that, and I'm not going to spend the rest of the game raging at the 4 or 5 tanks that basically sat back and let me die. Those tanks could have moved up, those tanks could have supported me, they had side shots on the tanks that were attacking me. But I'm not going to rage about it, because even though my team could have helped me, they could have done a little bit more to save me, it was me. I made the mistake by going into that position in the first place. I don't rage. That was my incompetence. Everyone is capable of making mistakes. But it's when someone plays badly and then spends the rest of the game blaming their team. That is what makes me rage. It's when, I don't know, players are playing high tiers, and even though they can have good stats like the SU-12254, just doesn't know how to use a minimap. Just doesn't know how to predict what's going to happen. That guy can't have played 24,000 games and still not know about scouts in E1. It's just mind-blowing. I mean, what does he expect to do alone on low health on one flank against a Bulldog in E1, along with lots of backup tanks camping in the corner? But yeah, apparently it wasn't his fault. He could have relocated, but that's not his fault. He had a keyboard, but that's not his fault. And he could have used his minimap, but that's not his fault. No, it's my fault. It's my fault because I didn't sacrifice my tank to try and get him a spot so that he could do a little bit more damage. It's my fault that our Artie didn't relocate when we only had 1 tank on 300 health sitting between him and enemy scouts. Yeah, I mean, for the whole 8 minutes he sat there with potential of dying, it's apparently my fault that he didn't relocate. So that's what makes me rage. It's when players attack other players for their own incompetence. But yeah, you guys wanted to see me rage. I don't rage. I really don't rage that often. But it takes a lot to set me off. But when I do get set off, I can rage. But that's the one of only 2 instances from the last couple of months I can actually remember. You guys wanted it. It's not the sort of stuff I usually put up on my channel. It's not the sort of stuff you will see on stream. So if this sort of raging offends you, then I do apologize. But a lot of you requested it. I wanted to show you guys I'm human. I'm not a robot. I'm not emotionless. But there you go. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.